Hey guys, this is FEMMES at Large presents Femininity and whatever we want to talk about. I'm January.
And I'm Mars.
And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Basically, we talk about things that relate to femininity and BIPOC spaces and just having fun with it and trying to make sense of things that just don't make sense. So today we're going to talk about femininity and hip hop. But before we get into that, we're just going to talk about some of the crazy things that happened this week. Mars, anything on your mind? Things you want to point out? What's going on?
Absolutely. So it's been a busy news week. I feel like this entire beginning, like this first month of this year, has been kind of wild. Like
Mm-hmm.
January and February. Um, but the most pressing, or at least the most interesting to me, that I've been paying attention to is kind of just Taylor Swift, just as a figure in general. Um, Her musicianship, her level of celebrity, and it just fascinates me. So one of the specific topics that I want to get into, just in the topics, is her fourth album of the year win at the Grammys this year. So what are your thoughts?
So my thoughts are like, I feel that Taylor Swift, I think she's proven to be a great artist. Like she is a great songwriter, great musician. She makes good music, and I think overall, like she does pretty good things for her community. But also, it's just frustrating because like it doesn't compare to the things that Beyonce, Giselle, and Knowles Carter has done, and the fact that she's never won album of the year, and a lot of her albums are just basically just like curations of art. It's really disturbing. It's really frustrating. Um, but then also, I think it brought me back into why are we looking to these like companies or like institutions that don't want any part of us, don't want to work with us, don't want us to have anything, and it's like we're giving them free publicity and giving them more attention by clamoring for their approval. And maybe this is a wake up call for Beyonce and the rest of the artists and black artists or people of color of like, hey, like, let's divest. Like, let's stop like giving them this because I'm not trying to doubt Taylor. I'm not saying she didn't do a great job. And I think for her audience, she's amazing. But as far as just like great artistry overall as a complete artist, you can't tell me that Beyonce didn't earn that with Renaissance. It's just you can't even there's no way. Lemonade? Really? Lemonade? It couldn't no? Like I don't know. That's how I feel about it. How do you feel about it?
You said it completely. And I don't even know if you caught it. Just like you saying, like, for her demographic, for her whatever it is, she is like probably the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? Which I wouldn't even agree with either. If you know what I'm saying? There's some people, Dave Grohl, like Red Hot Chili Peppers. I feel like a lot of other white
Yeah.
artists have done way more. But put that to the side. You said it. Like, she is not icon or legendary status like a Michael Jackson, like a
Mm-mm.
Beyonce. You could
Mm-mm.
go to a place that does not even have a connection to internet, and you say Beyonce, and they, Beyonce, they know who Michael Jackson is. Taylor Swift does not have that. So like that is just a point enough in its own. I don't hate the girl at all. I
I
have no
don't.
reason to hate that girl. She's an incredibly sweet, beautiful woman, gorgeous gowns. I love that she always has a classic red lip. I love a woman in a red lip. It's
Right.
such a classic feminine, like statement color.
Right.
Um, but I'm also like not 16 and live in, the Midwest, so I can't
Mm.
relate to the spiritual experience that they have experiencing her. Regardless of all of that, musicianship, artistry, four album of the year wins to be the most awarded in that category out of any
Mm.
musician. That's out of Prince, out of Stevie Wonder, out of
Mm.
any musician before her. That should tell you that the whole situation, like the whole establishment
It's
in
rigged.
general, is a farce. That should be enough to convince you. But to play to the other side, where it's like we should demand to be awarded at these places, I understand that, and I'll never be upset with the black people that see validation in those types of awards. Because if
Mm.
I was an incredibly talented musician, I would want to be recognized at the highest level. And whether we like it or
Mhm.
not, that's one of the highest types of recognition that you can get as an artist. So I would understand the want to like strive to get it. And
Mhm.
I'll never ever, but like, I can feel that there is a certain conscious awakening happening amongst the diaspora, in that the academy, or whatever it's called for the Grammys, the panel, whoever they are, these 100
Mhm.
people, artists are coming out, black artists are saying, this doesn't represent you, this is never, you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But if we're gonna do that during Black History Month, if we're gonna make that point and start to wake
Yeah.
everybody up and say, "Hey, the Grammys is a," then we need to come back to the Image Awards. We need to come back to the BET Awards. We need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to come back to these spaces and bring them back to what they once were in the '90s, like in the thousands. The BET Awards was our show. We would all sit down. We were tuned in, locked in for those award shows, and that just isn't
Mm.
the case anymore. And yeah, that's how I feel. Does she deserve four? That's my humble opinion. Absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
And just, I mean, just in this category alone, like, I knew Victoria was not gonna get it. Um, it's just too early in her career. Even though that's an incredible piece of work, I love that album.
Incredible. Incredible.
But SZA, to like, I swore this was gonna be her year. She
Mm.
was snubbed for that first
Control.
album. What was it? Control. That is the snub of the century, in my opinion. We could talk about Renaissance
Yeah.
and Lemonade snub
Yeah.
all year, all
Yeah.
till the
That's
cows
real.
come home, till your
That's
face
real.
turns blue. But that piece of work is, it'll stand the test of time. I know it.
Yeah.
I gun to my head, I couldn't name a single song off that. And maybe that's me, because as a music lover, I do try and like introduce
Mhm.
myself to whatever is coming. But it doesn't speak to me.
Mm.
I feel like, I don't know. That's before we go on too far. Those are my thoughts. I hate that these things are making me hate on her, because I don't believe she
Mhm.
deserves to be hated on. She definitely,
Mhm.
absolutely, 100% plays into her whiteness, and she understands the benefit of it. She's never once used
Mhm.
it for anyone but her. Never
Mhm.
once.
That's real.
So, but even still, she's not like malicious with it. So I have to at least give her that. To
Mhm.
weaponizing it to malicious intents, she just doesn't use it for anything productive other than defending herself and her character.
Yeah.
So, those were my thoughts. That's been on my chest for a while. I had to get that out.
Yeah. No, we appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. Other things happening in femininity in the news is, I'm not sure if you caught Monique's Club Shay Shay
I clock.
interview. I haven't seen all of it. I don't have the strength to watch those two interviews, her and Kat. I don't know that I'll ever. That's too much. That's,
Man.
when it's just like you in grown folks business. Like, I feel like I'm in grown folks business every time they get to like airing
Mm.
everybody out, and I'm just like, I can't. I can't. Not that I want to like be ignorant to like the things that people do in the industry, in
Yeah.
that industry, but I just feel like it's none of my business. So I watched the viral bits. Did you see Monique's?
So I had all the strength, and not only did I watch the
That's
full
incredible.
special, I also was in watching the back and forth between her and her son that started happening
Yes.
as
Thank you so much.
well.
I'm so glad. Ooh, I have some thoughts.
So I got
Ooh.
you. I got all of that for you.
Thank
I
God.
think watching people like her and Kat is so fascinating to me, because
Fascinating.
it's like truth wrapped in exaggeration, and so you're trying to figure out what's right, and you're like, okay, that kind of makes sense, and then they follow it up with something. You're like, you're a little out of touch. Like, I think you think you're selling bars, but it's really selling respectability and capitalism. But we don't want to talk about that, because there'd be times when Monique would say something, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then she bring up the bonnet situation. I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, and it's so interesting, because it's like, I feel like our older generations are still entrapped in upward mobility as the way for freedom for our community, but it's not gonna work. As you see, all these roadblocks, it is a system, and it's built purposely to be a system that helps other people to keep each other down. That's why a Tyler Perry or an Oprah allegedly is going to keep you down, because they want to put you in your place, because that's how it works. They give a couple people the ring, and then everybody else has to answer to it. And so you're mad about that, right? But then when it comes to your son, you're berating him in public. Like, all he did was say, hey, like, you don't really come see your granddaughter. Like, I mean, could we make that work? You got mental illness. I gave you 10,000 deposit for a car loan. This, that, the third. Does that look like these are my texts from 2021 with you? Does this look like I don't like you? And I just was sitting there and I was just like, maybe it's a Gen Xer thing. Maybe it's like just age and just being tunnel vision, or maybe it's even privilege, because I think privilege affects how you see the world. But it's just like, you can't have it both ways. I feel like you have to be down for your people. You have to have community and see that the things you're trying to gain are really just a part of the bigger system, the white majority that you think you're standing against. And you're really not. You're just pushing the same mental health stigmas. You're pushing the same internalized racism that you don't, in the caste system and the classism, that you don't even know that you're pushing. And it's sad, because I know they could get it if they really wanted to.
They're always so close.
They're so close, but
They're
it's just like,
always so close. I need y'all to give it up for Jan, because you just spit.
It's
you
on
was
my
just
mind,
cooking.
friend.
Like, everything you said times 10. Like, I can't even, like, you said it explicitly. The part that I want to get into the most, that has really truly shattered my reality, is I have been a fanatic of Monique's. When I tell you, I'm not exaggerating. She is such, I cry sometimes thinking of the thought of meeting her. That is how much I am a fanatic of hers. Because she is a trailblazer. I mean, and even despite like the bonnet and the respectability politics, it was always like, as a bigger woman, like, she has always been a, like, such a, like, I can't even explain it, right? Mm-hmm. Watching this go down with her son,
that was crazy.
It has blown everything up. And how truly you don't meet your heroes. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because as a daughter of a narcissistic parent and a manipulative parent, the book doesn't change. It's the same story. Of course she has this image. My father, if you were to ever run into him, he probably could have been a politician. He would have been incredible.
Yeah.
His speaking, he's an incredible personable, can make you laugh, make you feel incredibly comfortable upon meeting him. You would never guess that he was an absent parent. You would never guess. And it's just the way, when I saw his video first, Club Shay Shay came out, I saw his video, it just popped up on my For You page. I'm in love with this guy now. I think he's an incredible dude. He's clearly done a lot of work to get to the point that he's at. And if you're not a child of a narcissistic parent that has had to do the work to get to this point of speed, you'll never understand. You'll never understand. I can tell. The way there's all these older black, uncles and aunts that are like same age of Monique, that are just in his comments being like, you're hurting, you're so hurt, you need to do it. Who did it? Oh, who did it? I wouldn't be hurt if it wasn't because of this.
No,
so
literally.
Watching him and seeing him speaking, I can only imagine what it took to get to this point for him. So I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, me too.
But so watched his video in full, probably like twice. It was only like 10 minutes. Hers came out maybe no less than 24 hours later, with Daddy. All I saw was that frame, Jan. That frame of them sitting side by side, I watched maybe 2 seconds and said, everything he said is true.
Right, it was so bad.
Everything he said is true. I believe every single word. He has no reason to lie. I believe it. Because it's just you can just see it. I'm like, oh man, this woman is horrible. Not a horrible person, but a horrible parent. to
She's
one of
not good.
4 children, mind you, not 3, like the husband continues to refer to the kids
Ooh-wee.
as having only 3
Right.
kids. Do you know the type of the cussing out I would have done to that man who's not my biological father? It would have been record breaking. But yeah, no, it's truly shattered my entire perception of her, and obviously it doesn't make her a bad person. I'm not her daughter, so I can't make that, but definitely she whatever he said is true. It's true.
Yeah.
And yeah, with the Club Shay Shay interview, that again, that's still it doesn't make everything that she said in there untrue. But it's exactly as you said it. They'll like put truths surrounded by nonsense and chaos and like
Yeah.
fallacies and just imagination. And it's
Yeah.
just, you just gotta like take their word for it. Otherwise, you're, you know, against black women.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really wild how she weaponizes that, and how like it's really toxic, it's unfair, and it just makes it harder for other black women or other black parents who, have to come to terms with the fact of like they messed up, like I could see that she wanted to be absolved of that, because I think she does to a degree feel bad that this
Of
kid didn't
course.
ask to be there, and you literally not only brought him into this world, made it very apparent that you did not want to take care of him through neglect, which I think is crazy, and like it's
Was
like
homeless at one point.
homeless,
Homeless at one point. When your mother
homeless,
is this superstar.
homeless, and
And
it's
then will
like
then use the like, oh, I gave you some money. Anyway, go ahead, Fran. I'm sorry.
no, yeah, no, because it's like it's triggering, because it's just like you're basically validating everything he said. Like if you watch their thing, I actually sat and watched the whole thing, and they basically brought up all the money that they put into for the granddaughter, put in the money for like the car and stuff, and I'm like that just completely just validates his argument, and it's just
Absolutely.
sad. It's just sad because it's just like all you have to do is just like extend a hand and be like, hey, I'm sorry for hurting you. Like I don't know if I could ever make it up to you, but can we at least try to like reconcile? But they have to do it. You can't expect the kid to come to you. That's the issue. You did it. You did the wrongdoing. You have to make the first step. It's
Why
crazy.
would I, the child, be so? Because they all say the same thing. I'm here when you're ready. It's such a like. I can't. I don't know if there's a term for it, but it's like that's completely negates everything. It absolves you of everything when you're ready. Because I've healed. I've done all these years have passed, and I'm looking back, and yeah, I want to have a relationship with you now.
They're
So
like,
I'm here
oh
when you're
well,
ready.
yeah, yeah.
When you're ready,
Mhm.
my eyes twitching. Yeah, we gotta move on to another.
We'll talk
It's
about.
because it'll drive you crazy. It'll drive you crazy. It'll drive you crazy. I feel for him so like
Yeah.
I'd love to just like even as much as I loved his mother, like there's people that probably are so infatuated with my dad and like look to him as like and they would never know. Anyway,
I just when I heard Jamaican cis straight male, I just want to apologize for everything you went through up front. You don't even have to keep talking about it. We gonna go to the next subject. But just know you're in our thoughts and prayers.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, and you'll never know. You'll never know what it's like to be a child of a West African or Caribbean father. You'll never know. There should be a support line for us. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear about Kelly Rowland, that situation?
ooh, yes, great topic, Fran. Great topic. Because this just happened. Great
Yeah.
topic. You got your ear to the streets. Yeah.
Abby?
I mean, I'm gonna use an analogy from a person that has shown their behind enough this year, but a broken clock is always right twice a day. And it's from the Nicki Minaj,
Oh
and it
man.
was back in her days
Yeah.
for her documentary, which if you've never watched, I recommend it because
I think I watched it a while
she
back. It's been a while though.
she was incredible. It's so disappointing that anyway.
Yeah.
And it's a very long story about essentially how she went to a shoot. And this is just paraphrasing, but their crafty table was just like crackers and like just a basically just a jar of pickles and some pickle juice. That was what she said. And she said she walked out because if you like if you accept the pickle juice, then that's what you're always like. You can't let these people play in your face. That is the moral to the story. And so I come in and you got me getting ready in a storage closet. I'm
Mm.
knocking my head between mops and you know what I'm saying? I'm sure that's not what it was, but it wasn't up to the stand. It wasn't. Kelly Rowland doesn't give me diva to the point of like being nasty. She doesn't give that at all. I'm sure she
Mm-hmm.
very respectfully was like, have a good day. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact that there's this like such public chastising of her for not
Mm-hmm.
accepting the pickle juice when correct accommodations it just should have been made. Doesn't don't these
Mm-hmm.
celebrities like they come in and they say, "Hey, I need blah 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 blah." Like, you know, don't they
You
reach
have a
out to them
writer.
beforehand?
Mm-hmm.
A writer, isn't that like the you know? So I'm not understanding how
Mm-hmm.
things like this happen in the year of our Lord 2024 and you have someone of the and even if it wasn't Kelly Rowland, I believe if you're inviting someone, they don't like you should be showing your best. Like not for nothing, you know, the Ellen show, she was horrible to a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
but from what I've heard, like her team does it well. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like their dressing rooms or whatever are huge, gorgeous. I mean, all the snacks you could need. Like she she did it right. So the fact that what was it the Today Show?
It. I'm like, it's weird because I feel like I see both sides in the sense of like, I think broadcast news, is not getting to the speed of what we are at now. Like they will
Mm-hmm.
keep doing the same old stuff because we allow them to. But there's
Right.
also just like a lot of like just old money in news, so they just don't take people seriously that are of color. Like they just
Right.
don't. I got to meet Kelly Rowland in like 2020. I think it was the voting year.
Oh my gosh.
I was a little set PA, and I was like, oh my gosh, Kelly Rowland, like what the, you know? And she was like, have you voted yet? And I'm like, I'm about to. She's like, yes, please vote. Like your parents like are gonna be so proud of you. Like you need to vote, blah blah. And I was like,
You do
yeah,
a good
like.
Kelly Rowland. Like it really sounds like her.
No, like friend, like when I said she's the sweetest person, like literally took my hand and was like, please vote. Like this is really important. And then she was like, what does your dad do? What do your parents do? And I was like, oh, like my dad, he does like environmental engineering, like he's big in like environmental stuff. And she was like, I have like, wow, like I really want to talk to him about some stuff or whatever, because she's into the environment. Like super sweet. Don't know me from Adam. And then she's like, follow up with me, talk to him, and then follow up with me. I have this idea, ask him if it's possible. And I was like,
Wow.
okay. So I called my dad. He's like, well, yeah, I guess technically it could work or whatever. So then I go to her and she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, that's so interesting. Like, I just always had thought about it, whatever. And I was just like, sweet, like super sweet. Wasn't annoyed. She didn't change up at the later end of the day. Cause you know how sometimes they can be like that. And,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, and so like, she just was really one of the sweetest people. So to hear the story, I don't believe it. I feel like the rooms were probably small, but I feel like there had to be something else that was an issue. And I don't think she was garnered the respect that she should have gotten because she's
Absolutely.
not a Beyonce or not. Like, if Beyonce came up in there, I know they would have figured it out. There's some big open conference room, there's some meeting room. Somebody could have gotten kicked out, somebody. But also, I think it's interesting that J-Lo got the biggest room. Apparently, she was the one that ended up getting the bigger green room, which I thought was actually interesting as well. So yeah, so I think like modern broadcasting world needs to speed up because they're already like losing a lot of money. They're already not able to keep up with the times.
To
But like,
streaming.
you know what I'm saying? And it's just like y'all need to step it up. Y'all need to respect people better. And like, it's Kelly Rowland. Like she's done a lot of great stuff, and she's a good person. I just don't believe that she was like a diva as they're trying to make it out to be. And I think it's just really convenient because these stories happen all the time. I've never seen them out in the public. Like, there's so many celebrities that you would be surprised that are acting up,
That
but we
part.
never hear about it. Why was this put out? It just seems like a smear campaign to a degree, and I don't like it.
It is like it's so obviously a tactic. It's so obviously a tactic. Because I'm sure, like you said, like it's old money, like something that it's like, years and years and years has broadcast news, as a entity. It's
Hmm.
a lot of that, a same thing, like that old school thinking. It's like, oh, how dare she walk out, blah blah blah. You ain't no Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
know they was letting it rip.
Right.
So yeah, no, it's absolutely that. It was them being embarrassed, I'm sure. Like,
Hmm.
one, that a star would walk out because of the,
Hmm.
um, like, things weren't up to standard, and the fact that it leaked, So, like, they got to get ahead of the story, and now she's this Miss Diva. I'm not buying it for a second. And
Yeah.
anyone that would be a fan of Kelly would also not buy it. Or you don't even have to be a
Hmm.
huge fan of her. Like, I think she's done enough to where her character is pretty sound.
Yeah. She seems pretty genuine. She's kind of held true the whole time. She's very unproblematic. Like, I don't know what else you could say. I literally, when I met her, I was just like, I can't believe I'm touching the hand that has touched Beyonce. I was
I would have acted up real bad, real bad,
like,
real
Fred, I literally
bad.
was
I would have
like,
acted up.
Dad, I just
You're so
talked to Kelly
strong.
Rowland. I had to work though. That's what kept me going. Because if I didn't have to
That's
work, I'd have to
true.
go celebrate and get some lunch and be like, friend, you just talked to one of the best R&B singers that you know or grew up on. Like, come on now.
I don't know where to act no matter where I am. When I was still working in New York, and like, some celebs would come. I acted a fool. I acted a fool
Mm,
every time, every single
hmm.
time, and I don't regret it. And I would do it again.
I think they would
They
like it.
seem
I
to
think it's
enjoy it.
fun. Yeah, it's fun. You just like appreciating, giving them their flowers while they're here because they
That's
deserve
what I
it.
try to do. I'll literally when sometimes like people will be like, "Oh, so and so is here." I would be in the back somewhere. I'm out my break is over. I'm in your face and
Yeah.
I'm asking you, "Hey, well, how's your day? What are you doing? What you got going on today? Why are you here today right now? Oh my god!" It's anyway.
It's wild, Fred. It's wild.
All right. I feel like that pretty much wraps up
Yeah, I think that was
uh
pretty good.
the news. Yeah, I got real. Whew, I feel winded after the Monique segment because it is so hit close to home.
That
I'm
one
with
was a
him.
lot. Yeah, I
I'm with
am
him in
too.
solidarity.
Hmm.
All
For
right,
sure.
but this week, today we're gonna be talking about femininity in hip hop. Oh, oh, oh.
Yes.
This is one that we both have been super, super excited to get into.
Hmm.
I think hip hop is such a large scope. I kind of just want to tackle it in regards to just directly how it relates to femininity, and
Hmm.
there's gonna be like a few different subcategories in that femininity and hip hop category. But let's kind of just talk about hip hop and femininity and how it integrates in where we are today. I
Mm.
feel like right now is a super exciting time to be a woman in hip hop, but it's also a super polarizing time as well, because
Mm.
there's a lot of older, for lack of a better word, losers that are still in the game, and you know they are feeling threatened by
Yeah.
this new wave of young women rappers, so or non-male as well. So I wanted to kind of talk to you about that, and just kind of how you see like these new girls that have come out, because there's always that debate of like, well, all they're talking about is shaking ass and sex and blah blah blah, blah from the old heads, right? So what are your
Yeah.
thoughts about some of these? Do you have any favorites right now?
Yeah, so I've been losing touch with hip hop for real. Like I've been getting more into R&B, but the artists that do
Mm-hmm.
come my way that are new women artists or feminine artists, it's really exciting. I feel like they're closer to what they have always claimed real hip hop is, like all like the cadence and the timing and what they're actually rapping about may be subjective, but like they're actually like rapping like
They're
people say
rapping.
real rapping should be. And
They're rapping.
And I think it's also cool because now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it has been commodified by white culture yet, like male hip hop has. If we look at like Playboy Cardi and like Travis Scott. Well, is he more of a singer, like, or like is he a rapper? Like, I don't know. Like
I don't really. It's hard for me to categorize that sound because it's so. I don't like it so
it's
much that I
so
don't
out
even
of
know
this
really what it
world.
is.
There's
I would
some
say it's
stuff
still
from
hip
him.
hop.
Right, it's still hip hop. There's some stuff from him that I still kind of like, but you could just tell the influence of like making your stuff for a wider, younger audience. And like, I don't think feminine or black like hip hop has done that completely yet. So that's been kind of like interesting to kind of take in. Um, yeah, I really like Lotto because I followed her for when she was on the rap game. Like, I thought she was amazing. I was just like, how the heck are you rapping like this? So I was
She
like,
raps, bro.
like raps. Like
She
she's
raps.
actually
Yeah.
dumbing it down a little bit so
Yeah, yeah,
y'all
yeah.
could catch up.
Oh,
That's
for
how
sure.
good she
I'm
is.
waiting for the day she really like, cause I know it's there. I know it's there. And to be honest, Lotto within the past 2 years, I've really like gotten into her because when she first came out and that name, I didn't understand it, and that made me
Yeah,
stay far away. Not that I
yeah,
hated her or anything, but I was like, why would you deliberately name yourself Mulatto? But now that
yeah.
she's just Lotto Big Lotto, and she's just like, she's really
She's
rapping.
rapping.
Like
She
I'm
rapping.
really behind her right now. Like she's bringing like making me excited about hip hop again. Like not even like
Yeah.
and like put it like she's like the advocate for like put it on wax. Like put it in a rap. Go and rap. Like you got
Ooh,
a problem with
yeah,
me? Go rap about it.
yeah,
No, they're
yeah.
not doing that anymore. Like rap beefs are not rap beefs of yesterday. Like it's like I'm gonna talk a whole bunch about you, and then you're gonna put out a song, and then I'm just gonna like continue talking. But like it's never gonna be put on paper. So I respect her for that 100%. Like she's saying it with her chest. Like put it on a song.
Yeah, no, I respect
Out
her for
rap me.
that. It
I
just shows
respect
that
her.
she's had the proper training and she's like the real deal. So I appreciate her. Of course, Meg Thee Stallion. I just love the vibe she comes in with, and like I think I'm interested to see what her trajectory is gonna be. I love Flo Milli. Flo Milli is like my favorite. She's my favorite because she's just so good and she doesn't care, and like she's literally just like healing generational trauma, being darker, being a woman, being like I don't care, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and like it's catchy. I just love her sound. So those are like I would say those are like my top three. Of course, there's like other rappers that I mess with, Tierra Whack, Rhapsody. Like I like them too.
Super cool.
Yeah, but like that doesn't negate that like they're not like they both can't be good, because I think there's also that discussion too of like, oh, they talk about something and
Conscious
they
rap.
not, but they not supporting conscious rap. So yeah, we could get that later, but yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Absolutely, and you know we will. Absolutely, yeah. We'll get into the conscious rap debate, but I agree with literally all the girls that you brought up. They're so cute. Flo Milli is I've been with her from that first like
Yes.
from Beef. I was like,
Yeah.
she has
Yeah.
it. She is it.
Yeah.
And Flo Milli specifically has like kind of sparked this conversation that I've been following, um, in regards to like the video vixen becoming the main
Yes.
event now. Like
Yes.
she is the video and the talent. Like it's an incredibly really cool time to be in rap and in hip hop. Like like they're saving hip hop, to be honest with you, and rap, because these
Yeah.
dudes are not rapping, and if they are, it's about really like corny stuff. Like I don't know, like even if the girls are only just like, yeah, I'm gonna shake my butt and I'm gonna take his money and I'm gonna make him mad. Guess what? It sounds fun. Like y'all hate fun, you know? Like Ice Spice, y'all really can't make me hate her. You really can't.
No,
It's
you
gonna be
really
hard for
can't.
me to hate her.
You really
It's
can't.
gonna be so hard for me to hate her because like she's not pretending to be anything. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fun. It's catchy. She's
Yeah.
not trying. She never said that she was out here like, like she never said she had bars. Like she just liked to rap, and I love her for it. But no, I love that. I love rap right now, and I love that conversation of just like in the femininity aspect, the vixen becoming the main event. Like
Yeah.
if we go back into the vixen days, um, I would say like because I was so young, I didn't really understand the concept of it. I was always I think
Mm,
if I even asked my mother one time like why are there always girls just shaking their ass like in the video, like what's that about? And she
right.
would like try to explain it to me, but I was like too young for the conversation. But it is fascinating in that time. Like if you remember, like there was a period of time where vixens would start to come to the forefront and like use their voice and like
Yeah.
write tell-alls about all these guys. Um, Specifically, one that comes to mind right now is Gloria Velez. I'm not sure if you're familiar with
Mm.
her, but weird like connection. I went to school with her only son. No, she has two kids now, but I went to school with her
Uh-huh.
oldest son. Um, we were in the same grade and we were just always in school together. But Gloria Velez, she was always in like the every video. Like if you look
Mm.
up Big Pippin, there's gonna be a woman in a white coat, iconic shot. That's her. That's Gloria Velez.
I
She
gotta
used
go
to run
back.
around with, Trick Daddy, Big Daddy
Yeah.
Kane, all the like South Florida like crew, and she just recently because I think it was Big Daddy Kane, either Big Daddy Kane or Trick Daddy, either one of them
Uh-huh.
were there was a lot of women coming forward because it was that period of women coming forward about Diddy and women coming because
Oh,
that
dang.
statue was about to end, and so Gloria like did like a Instagram post that went pretty viral and talking about
Hmm.
how like yeah like I support these women, I'm so proud of them because she was like 16 when she first came into the game, like she
Mm.
was so
That's so
young,
scary, bro.
and those men should be so like they were so wrong and they know they were wrong,
Mm.
and so yeah, just the video vixen era. What are your thoughts on like that era of hip hop? Not that it's
Yeah, no,
really gone anywhere, but
no, yeah, I definitely love that point you made. Because I feel like I know that there was people like Foxy Brown and Lil Kim who did try to, or they brought the vixen feel, but it still was wrapped in a lot of misogyny and like um, getting the appeal of men in the industry. So it didn't. It feels different from what it is now, which is like they're literally just degrading men, even though we could debate how the sex appeal is still like for the male gaze and like are you really whatever, but it's like head and shoulders above what I think the past tried to do, and how
mm-hmm.
video vixens, even though they were revered, they went through a period of they were really like shitted on and like, and I think this is like a reclamation of that to a degree. I'm really interested to see what it turns into and how the audience flows and grows with the new feminine artists, to see how that turns out. Because I think like even though it's debatable, I do think there's a power being taken over by the vixen being the product, like being able to choose what they want. But then it's like I feel like the record labels they have a lot to say in it too, and so
Absolutely.
I think, thankfully for social media, there's proof behind. Hey, I can present like this, and people are gonna like it. But also, I'm wondering like how that'll continue. Is it going to change? But it seems positive. I feel good about it. And you're right, the songs are fun. I think men are called out because women are doing it better than they did. And like if they're upset about it, like either do better or get on the train. But you're gonna be left. Ask Tori. You
Okay.
about to get left. Ask her. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like it's all misogyny, it's all femphobia essentially. Like how dare somebody be extremely feminine and diss on us and just use us for money when really y'all don't really have as much money. It's statistically proven. So I don't know, but that's I could go on a rant, but I think there's just a lot of misogyny tied into why people hate on the feminine artists now. You don't need to. You don't.
I completely agree, and I want to get into your point that you brought up in regards to like the vixen, like that was once the product becoming the,
Mm-hmm.
the talent, and then just kind of like what the future of this is because yes, it is fun and yes, it is cool, but like these record labels, do still have an influence to a degree. I think what's really exciting that's been happening is someone like Megan who was able
Mm,
to, buy all their shit back and is completely funding all of their own projects.
that's
I think this is going to be a
insane.
really, really exciting time and really, really cool for these
Insane.
women that aren't necessarily creating anything for the male gaze and are just creating just what they want to create. You know what I'm saying? If that's me being,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this, that, and that girl, or that's me, really rapping, like whatever it is, like whatever projects they're working on. I think that's really cool. But to get into more of the kind of downplaying female rap. Oh, actually, one more thing. In regards to like the Vixen era, I don't know if you're into Mona Leo.
Oh,
Mona
I
Leo,
love
Mona
her.
Leo.
I can't believe I forgot her. Yes, sorry, that was
No,
loud.
no, no. I love her so much. She's genuinely one of my favorites too.
Yeah, I love
But
her
that
so
video
much.
with Raymonte and them as her vixens, like that changed the game.
Oh, I
Like there
didn't
needs
see
to be more
that.
boys shaking ass in videos. That was really fun and cute. I loved it.
Dang.
Um, but getting back to the the old heads or just the misogynistic men that are also lovers of hip hop or in hip hop actually in the industry and they're haters. Um, let's get into the conscious versus ass shaking rap. Because you already mentioned that these
Yeah.
men that perpetuate these narratives that it's just we just want your they just want your money. That's all they're rapping about is taking money from men and blah 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 blah. But they're not actually supporting any of the because I'm sure they're out there. They're out there and they're
Mhm.
making music, but y'all ain't behind them. So what are your thoughts on that?
There's a lot at play. I think like there's a couple things. So first, I'll start off with like I feel like men are trying to use the tactic of pitting women against each other, and it's not working, and they're upset about it
They're
because
so mad.
they're mad because back in the day they would do stuff like that. If they would play into it because
And it worked.
women were like pick me, more of the pick me, more of like oh like yeah like these are my guys. I don't have any girlfriends. Like I'm so cool, and you
Red
wanna,
flag.
you know, but most of them, I feel like in the hip hop industry were like that because it was about getting in. There were so many, like, there was gatekeepers, and it was hard to get in, and you wanted to stay in. So I think that was easier to
Absolutely.
pit women against each other by men being like, oh, like, y'all ain't really talking about nothing, and oh, she really talking about something, blah, blah. But it's not working because we see through it, and we're like, yo, like, it's just different things or whatever. And I think both types of rappers have their struggles. You're either gonna be sexualized and fetishized and dissed for like looking a certain way, or you're gonna be not supported. Oh, you cool, but I'm not gonna support you fully, and I'll just come back around and use you when I need an argument. So that's like my first thought. My second thought is like I feel like men really try to say, oh, like these women are rapping about this, they're degrading men, it's all about money, they don't care about getting to know us. But all of the patriarchy is surrounded around the fact that you need to work, that you need to provide for this household, and you guys use it as a way to be like, oh, okay, like this is how it's supposed to be. But then when it's like thrown up, you know what I'm saying? Like it's an issue.
Provide. Provide then.
It's an issue, and so it's like when there's a
Do it.
transactional relation, right? There's a transactional relationship. Like when does it stop? The only way it's gonna stop is unless you speak up and you stop it yourself and not playing into that. You know what I'm saying? And like tell your friends. I be telling my brother, I be like, talk to your friends. He's
Talk
like,
to your
"Those are my
friends, see your mates.
You know what I'm
See your
saying?
mates. Absolutely. No, I completely agree. It's, the patriarchy is all fine and dandy until it doesn't benefit me. Like this whole like men that hate the city girls and men that hate women that rap like Cardi and them that rap about if you ain't got that then you can't, a broke man should never laugh, all of that. The ones that are upset about that are the ones that are pursuing the type of women, number one, because there's plenty of pick-me's, plenty of them, but I don't ever see them getting picked. Plenty of them that play into patriarchy and are like, I want my man to tell me whatever to do and whatever to say. They don't want them. They want the city girls. They want the women. And it's like, and y'all don't have it.
Yeah.
You don't have enough. You can't pay to play. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a like fascinating like hole that they've just like, or like hamster wheel that they continue to just run around on and get upset about.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and then also to the point of like talking about pitting the women against each other and how well that used to work in rap and in hip hop. Like Foxy and Lil Kim, they can even agree that their beef was perpetuated by everybody talking in their ear saying she's saying this, she's saying that. They could have been cool, and that's what's making them so like for like right now is
It's
because
not
those tactics
working.
aren't working, and a lot of these girls are coming in and are really girls and are like only collabing with other women, or like, you know what I'm saying, like
Mm,
there's really like a sisterhood happening right now, and they're really upset about it because the more and more we're learning, because the facade is falling back, and we're learning that these men cannot do anything for you that you can't do for yourself,
yeah, yeah,
and they're sick to their stomachs. But while we're here in the rap beef area, let's
yeah,
do a little history, because this is all going to inevitably lead to, Nicki Minaj, and we're
yeah,
just going to talk about Nicki Minaj for a little bit because I
yeah.
got to talk about Nicki Minaj. Um, I personally would love, I could do a whole like scope of like my favorite rap beefs and rap beefs in general. I was telling Jan about this. I do still want to make this video. I probably will. But specifically in femininity, because there's other, Ja Rule and 50 Cent. Like, there's some weird ones that I just love so
Yeah.
much. But specifically with femininity, because like I mentioned, Foxy and Lil Kim, how they came out around the same time. They would always give each other their flowers in the beginning. Like, they were very,
Mhm.
they were truly like, not like, oh, we're besties, but they weren't like, they didn't feel the
Mhm.
need to be adversaries. Like, they're always like, Lil Kim, Foxy would always give Lil Kim her flowers. Lil Kim always gave Foxy back, until, after a certain point of each camp getting in each other's ear, it became, a real beef for real.
Mhm.
So yeah, Foxy and Little Kim, that beef. Then I would say, what would be the next two female MC beef that you can recall after Foxy and Lil Kim?
I mean, besides Nicki and Lil Kim, cause I mean, I
Besides
feel
Nicki and
like
Lil Kim,
yeah, because like after Lil Kim went to jail, it was kind of like
I
uh
really, in that time period, I really can't think of much. Like, Nicki
no.
really
It was Nicki and
ignited
Lil Kim, and then it was Nicki and this girl
Remy
from New York, Remy Ma. I remember that vividly, and then Nicki and Cardi
vividly.
like forever. So yeah, I mean,
Other
because
than
Nicki had
like
such a
little
reign.
spats,
Yeah, there was like
yeah,
maybe little spats here and there, but I think Nicki Minaj had such a reign for so long that no one could compete with her because she was amazing. She was
right,
the best of her time at that time. So I think after Lil Kim, it just kind of was like, who else that I could remember at her
right.
age? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna try and find some other examples, but I really can't think of any major like culture defining female MC rap beefs
Yeah.
other than like at the level of
Mhm.
Foxy and Lil Kim. It was almost literally after that Kim and Nicki Minaj,
Nicki.
which
Yeah.
everyone felt to a certain point was, in the beginning, you
Mhm.
could say it was pretty one sided to a certain degree, but it all stemmed from the fact that Little Kim felt like she didn't essentially check in to a certain degree, and wasn't she Little Kim, and this is me also psychoanalyzing, but a lot of people feel that Kim felt that Nikki didn't give her flowers the way that she should have
Mhm.
when she was first coming up. And Nikki, on several occasions, felt like, well, damn, like, what do you want me to do? How many times do I gotta say it? How do you want, you know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
want me to rap? I'm not gonna do all that, girl. I've already, and how crazy to become the exact person that you were
Mhm.
once, you know what I'm saying, criticizing. That was
Yeah.
your predecessor. That was your, you know what I'm saying? You have now become that to the new girls. And I think there's this like interesting new, like, the way that the for Lil Kim and Foxy, for the way that it was their camps and their teams feeding in their ear. Now in this day and age, it's these 16-year-olds on the internet that, the stands feed the wars. Like,
Mhm.
they get into these,
Yeah.
like, if you're Nicki Minaj per se, and you're on your social media, all that you see is these people praising you're a god, you're a legend. It's the same issue with
Mm.
Kanye West. It's the same issue. They're in these
Oh
echo
my god.
chambers full of these mentally ill teenagers, and they're
Mm.
actually starting to drink the Kool-Aid. So it's like,
Mm.
it's so crazy how these beefs are now being controlled, which was once just like gang related to a certain degree, but mainly like, this team, was saying stuff. Now it's the teams have become these children on the internet essentially, and that fascinates me so much. So, just to put that into there. So we've had, now we have Nikki and Kim, and now she feels she's never going to be able to please this woman. This woman just always has it out for her. She just doesn't like her because she's new. She's the new thing. She came out, she's popping. Now you have Kim and Remy Ma, and Remy's, I feel like it was just another situation of like, I'm the queen of New York. No, I'm the queen of New York. No, I'm the queen. Another, that will never end.
Right.
And then it became Nicki and Cardi.
That changed
Now
everything.
that one was almost
That changed
exclusively
everything.
fed. That was fed almost directly by their fans. What were your thoughts in regards to like Cardi and Nicki, or even Nicki and Remy?
Yeah.
Because I remember
Nicki,
Sheether.
Yeah, Nicki and Remy, like, the beef was cool and all, but it didn't really hit me as hard. I don't know, like, I didn't really care.
It was over pretty quickly. Like, there's still a burn, but Sheether was, I mean, there's nothing Nicki could really come back with after that one. She obliterated. Remy obliterated her. Whether you dislike Remy or not, whether you're not a fan of hip hop, I'm not glazing to Remy just because she's like a staple rap. Like, she devoured her. In the same sense that I don't even love Drake, but Drake demolished Meek with Back to Back. Back to Back was in every club. Trigger fingers turned to Twitter fingers. He ate that man up. So Remy absolutely devoured Nicki. But like, with Car, what were you saying? What were your?
I feel like, I think I resonated with the Cardi and Nicki beef just because I think it was the first time that I really saw like Nicki really like some like holes in her like legacy that was happening, just the way in which she responded. And it made me sad because like Nicki and Cardi could have really had some great songs together and they really could have been amazing. And I felt like they kind of had the potential to have the energy to make great shit and be cool with each other. But I think they both have their problematic issues because I think like I don't think Cardi's perfect, but I think it was the whole kiss the ring situation as well.
Very
but
much.
But also it was just kind of like, I know Nicki went through a lot. There was times where we had to advocate for Nicki because it was a lot coming her way just for being really good at rap. And I think it wasn't fair, the things she had to deal with. And I do believe some of the situations that did happen that she expressed, especially after the whole Nicki and Cardi beef. And like, I think she's been through a lot. And I think she wasn't believed because she was a woman. And I think it's going to be 10 times harder for her. But you don't turn around and make it harder for the ones coming up on purpose just because you've been scorned. Because like being the first of your kind or being one of the greats, you know you're not going to get any of the recognition you fully deserve. Oh shoot, you good?
My bad. Yeah, I'm good.
There you go. You're not going to get any of the recognition you fully deserve until you're gone. Like, like you're not really going to, the younger people, they're not going to get it until they get older.
They're never going to get it.
Experience the same thing, but you shouldn't make it harder for them. Like everything you're doing, you're not going to see the benefit of it. That's just what it is. That's just like passing the baton. Like Martin Luther King, he's not going to be able to like reap the things that like he sowed in. Like, I don't know. I just think it's just like, it just really started to show the weaknesses in Nicki, and I'm like, oh dang, bro, like you don't have to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's build each other up. But, I mean, if you're going to have beef, make it cool. But, I don't know. That's when I started to kind of be like, like, this isn't sitting right with me. And then I think from there, I think it's just a mess.
There's been so many little ones in between Cardi and Megan. I mean, there was with Lotto. But I don't count those because nobody really never put nothing on wax. I feel like a rap beef is when two people are rapping at each other and beefing about it. Cardi and her, I feel like they were mostly subliminals, but they were definitely rapping. They were definitely rapping for the majority of the beef. But yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, it was so disappointing when I realized that they were never going to be, like, they couldn't just be equals. Like, there always has to be... I'm the queen of New York. No, I'm the queen of New York. It's always gonna be that. And I hate that about the New York rap girlies. I really do.
Yeah.
But no, it was, and I can tell. I feel like at times, even like at the time when it was happening, I'm sure she hates that woman now. But when in the beginnings of it, I'm sure she was so like, I've looked up to you. Like I loved your music
Mm-hmm.
for so long, and like why do you hate me? Like it was. I feel like it was kind of crazy and disappointing for her as well. Like they say, don't meet your heroes. But ultimately, this has obviously all led us now to what has been one of the most despicable displays of her as a writer
Yeah.
in this beef with Megan. All of There's so many elements. Pretty much every element of femphobia is tied into this one
Mm.
specific. There's trans misogynoir. Like she gets low.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're here. We're here to now with her and Megan. Obviously, most of it's fizzled out. I doubt we're gonna get Bigfoot Part 2
Yeah.
or whatever iteration of that would be. So, what has been your experience having watched her now? Her being Nikki.
Yeah. After watching her diss track, I like or listening to her diss track, and then just seeing like the lives, and it just takes me to a place of like people like Kanye, and it's just like, when are y'all
Mm-hmm.
going to hang it up? Like at some point, the reign is over, or you have to like evolve. And I think they're at that point. I don't know. Like, of course, Kanye, we know he suffers from mental illness. I don't know what's going on with Nicki. I'm not gonna judge unless I have full proof or she wants to come out and say something. But it's just like, when are y'all just gonna like let it ride? Like, it's like, cause the thing about it is like, they're not making good stuff anymore. Like, it's literally not good because it's dripping in the
It's not good.
misogynoir and like the
It's a
bitterness
waste. You could
of,
keep it.
and it's like, I think they're like still trying to get that high of the 2010s, and you can feel it. You can feel it every time they don't
It'll never be 2010
understand.
again.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
That
care
was
how
a
many
different
times you bring back Jersey
time.
Shore. It'll never be 2010 again. It's over. It's over. We're halfway into the 20s. It'll never
It's
happen.
gone. And but I think,
It's
but
gone.
friend, it's like cocaine. They are chasing that high of like what? Because that was a different time. She had
That was a
nobody in
different
a
time.
10-year span that really
Young
like
Money
stopped
was
her,
running it. The tens,
bro.
and all of these people, they're all spiraling now, except for Lil
Yeah.
Wayne. I feel like he kind of stays out of it to the most,
Uh,
from what I understand. He be saying
yeah.
stuff I wouldn't know.
I'll be. You remember when he was trying to get us to vote for Trump? He was taking pictures and stuff.
See, and I would have never known that. I would have never known that. I don't be paying attention to
Yeah, I'm
child.
gonna send you the link.
Oh my! Wow!
That one
Wow!
took
Wow!
me out.
Wow!
That one I really had to. But yeah, like
They're so
I think
stupid.
I think a lot of the 2010 uh, really famous people are struggling. Even Drake to a degree. Like I think
Drake,
they're
they're all
all
spiraling with it.
struggling. They're
They can't
struggling
come
because
to
it's
grips with
like
it.
they can't evolve, and it's like, why not? Because I feel like, even though like I love Beyonce, I just feel like she's been able to like flow with her audience and have realistic expectations, and like isn't at the point where she's spiraling. Why is that? Like I really like.
Her
Why is
only
there?
competition is herself. Unfortunately, that's why.
What a
It's just
bar!
that's what
What
it
a
is.
bar!
No, it truly is. She's every single project has surpassed herself, and I'm pissed with her right
Mm,
now. I'll probably be pissed with her for a
yeah,
very long time. It's one of
yeah.
those complex situations. Let me deal with it in my own time.
You're right.
But
Same.
she is only in competition with herself. Every single time, she's just trying to pers- pass her own bar, and you have people like Nicki and like Drake, but less more Nicki in her
Hmm.
case is she doesn't have liquid or on paper the funds to back up the lifestyle she now lives, and she feels that
Hmm.
not only does she deserve that, but she is like she a lot of this like frantic and like scrambling is one also like yes the twins being done and like that peak that high of those like banger after banger club is bumping your stuff every single time. Like, yeah, she's had control of the clubs quite a bit with Pink
She's
Friday,
been so,
but
yeah.
a lot of it is they really got to make this money. They got to make this money back for real. And she's really gotten herself in quite a pickle being married to who she's married to. And it's affected her funds. dramatically.
Yeah.
And that is her beef is with herself. In the same way that Beyonce is her only competition, Nicki Minaj's only obstacle in the same way of Azalea Banks, in the
It
same way
always
of
has
it's
been.
themselves.
Always has been.
It is herself. Um, but let's get into kind of like your reaction to both, uh, just specifically the raps of that came out from Megan and that came out from Nicki, because if we want to really get into it, and everybody else has said it before, I have before this has come out, but I'm gonna say it again. The person who caught it the most on Megan's track, and it only took one, is Drake.
Drake. Drake
Drake caught
caught
it
it.
the most.
He really
And y'all
did.
didn't, because y'all so worried about Megan's Law bar, he was catching it for a few bars. Posted up in somebody else's hood like a bad bitch. You wouldn't be
Bro.
able to talk to me.
Bro,
She.
that's embarrassing. That like okay, it's crazy because like it was maybe like 2 or 3. No, it was when she dropped her first single off of the new album that she's doing, Make the Stallion. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is cool. But I was like, I was telling my partner, I was like, man, like, I want her to just blast everybody. I'm just waiting for that rap disc where she just blasts everybody. And so when I heard it was coming out, I was like, oh, okay, this might be it, but I don't know. Like, she really gonna do it. And then Friday came, I put it in the car on my way to work. And when she started going in, I literally was in the car just like, and then that part when you think it's over, and then she kept going.
She's rapping.
Like she rapped so hard that no one else besides Nicki said anything. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. And it's crazy because it was just like total truths. She acknowledges everything she's been seeing. And it's just like it just really validated like, yo, like she really can rap. Like I knew she could
She
rap, but you know, she been doing a lot of electro and pop stuff. So I was like, like I fucks with you, but it's not really kind of what I'm into. But then this, it just literally regained all the faith I had already. And I was just like, this is what I missed. This was the rap that I've been begging for, that I've wanted for a long time. And it's fun. It got me excited about it. And like, it's you could tell it's all truth because nobody besides Nicki said a word. It was hush. Hush mode.
hush, hush. He had to post
Nobody.
that video. He had to do something quick. Drake had to come out with
He
something
sure
to
did. He
switch
sure
the
did.
attention.
He
And
sure
that
did.
video
He
that
sure
leaked,
did.
he leaked it. He leaked it.
Cause like that looks so staged. I was like, why are
He
you doing
posted
this?
it. He sent it straight to TMZ. He did it. Anyway, allegedly it. So I completely agree. I feel that this was her way of being like, you can't ever tell me I'm not a rapper, because it was blowing my mind even when like I've been with her since that first freestyle in the parking lot in them shorts with all them
Uh huh.
dudes standing behind her. I'm like, oh, she is like rapping. Like I was so excited. I'm like, yo, rap is back for real. Like,
Right.
no, she is a rapper, and she's truly becoming like. There's like a lot of like rap superstars, like for better or worse, like Kanye and all of them, even Nicki. But no, I can't even give Nicki superstar, because I feel like a superstar is someone that can perform, that can, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to dance, but she is such a performer. Like she is reaching superstar status to my degree. Like funding your own projects, um, being a part of that, conception and everything is under your approval, and then you're like really writing and like really rapping. Like I don't, I you, I'm just so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. I'm like now you really can't say anything to her, because
Yeah.
before it was like she was dipping and dabbling and she was doing a lot of collabs and features for a lot of different genres and projects, and that's just because she's super marketable, because she's an incredible, not on top of being incredibly gorgeous, she has a great personality, and she's perfect on screen, so of course everybody and their mother is asking Megan for a verse. But while she dipped and dabbled in all those genres, like she is back in that, like she's
That
rapping,
popping.
she's rapping. And
Yeah.
then after Hiss came out, came Bigfoot. Before Bigfoot ever came out, did come 6 a 6-day coke binge, allegedly.
Yeah.
But then Bigfoot came out, and I still don't have the energy to listen to that track in full. I've heard a good 40 seconds at the most, I feel, but I cannot listen to it from beginning to end. I don't have the heart. What about you?
I listened to it. It was, I really just be like, screw it,
You're
I,
so real.
I just be like,
You
let
need
me
to
just
be in
go ahead,
journalism.
because I'm like, let me just give it a fair shot. Like, how can I comment if I don't listen to it? Even though, but
True.
I won't get those, what was like 5 minutes back? I won't get them back. Like,
It was 5 minutes?
I don't know how long it was. It was kind of lengthy.
No way.
So like, I just remember like it just being. Let me see what it was, because I just remember
No
like,
way.
why is this so long? I think for me, it just was like it was reiterating everything that people have said about Megan that was untrue.
Right.
And hold on, let me make sure I don't play it so I don't get copyright or whatever.
Because she needs those coins. This video will be down quickly.
Ain't gonna get it from me.
Because I ain't got it.
It is 4 minutes and 21 seconds, right? And
That's pretty long.
It's pretty long, and like when listening to it, she wasn't really saying anything of like real substance. There wasn't really much of anything that was just like anything new or different. I
Right.
was interested in the story about the whole like Megan wanted her to get an abortion or like the making her drink while she's pregnant type of thing.
You want to get into this?
I don't want to, but I don't understand what that had to do with anything. It just felt like she was like reaching, but
She's truly grasping at straws. Essentially, from what I understand, is they did that song together, Hot Girl Summer, and obviously they were together a lot. They were promoting the song. They were doing lives together and stuff like that because Megan at the time was really having her lives were popping, and I think Nikki as well. Her lives were popping too. So they would start doing those live streams together, and I'm from what I understand of the story is that at one of these either before or after, they were together, they were partying, they were promoting the song together on lives. And, Megan's a party girl. If I ever met Meg, she's 100% like that girl that you meet in the bathroom. You're like, you look so pretty. No, you look so pretty. Oh my God, I love you. And she said, let's take a shot. Like, she's very much that girl. She's always been a party girl. Like, that is her. But she talks about it in her songs, very heavy drinker. And that was during a period of time where she was very heavily partying, very heavily drinking. And, she's offering everybody, you want to drive the boat? Who want to drive the boat? I'm sure. And, was offering her drinks at the time who she is like, oh no, Nikki is like, oh no, allegedly, oh no, I'm not drinking right now, I'm trying to have a baby, blah, blah, blah. Or I think she alluded to the fact that she's not drinking because she was pregnant, but she wasn't. She wasn't pregnant at the time, which she even admits herself. And Megan, I'm assuming, made a joke of something like that, like, oh, you can go to the clinic, something. But she wasn't pregnant at all
terrible.
at the time. So she keeps saying that she's insinuating that Megan suggested to her that she should have an abortion. It's just all stupid. It's just so stupid. And she's a crazy old lady. But
I'm laughing because I know she wasn't serious at all. And that's
she
why
wasn't
I'm laughing,
serious.
because I know she would have said that shit probably drunk, like, oh, well, you can just go to the clinic. Like, no.
Clinic girl.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? Like, she gives silly, unserious all day long. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. But yeah, you continue. What were you?
No, it's I just felt like Bigfoot was just, it wasn't good. You could tell like it was just something thrown out, but it just, there wasn't really anything of substance that made me change my mind or made me like maybe have more empathy. There was nothing that was like, oh my God, what it is. Even the whole thing about Meg's mom, like, there has been rap beats where like dead moms have been brought up, but like,
for sure,
not to be mean about it, but you gotta artfully do it. You gotta make it be like, oh shoot, you know what I'm saying? But
it was
like,
whack. It was whack. It was such a low.
The way she brought it up in Bigfoot or whatever, like, it It wasn't even really. It didn't even hit hard enough. Like it just was kind of disrespectful, yes, but it didn't even hit right. So not only did you just say something disrespectful, it didn't even really hit the way it was supposed to hit. It just was kind of lame. It's just I feel like she is grasping for straws, like you said. I feel like she's trying to get a hold of what she had. And I think it needs to be like, okay, why don't we make a new thing? Why don't we try to figure out a new life? Why don't I spend time with my kid? Why don't, let's go to the park. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Papa
let's.
Bear over there hungry in the corner and you whispering into your phone. Papa Bear ain't ate in 3 hours. You got him in front of the iPad watching Cocomelon.
Uh, yeah, friend.
But
That's
to
how I feel
that,
about it.
I feel the exact same. To that point that you were saying, and just like, because you were like, none of it was hitting. You know why it didn't hit? Because
Mm-hmm.
she was on the internet for a good 6 days straight, rambling and going off, and she had said everything that she was gonna say in all those bars.
Mm-hmm.
Charlemagne had said it too. Like I said, broken clock is right at least twice a day.
Yeah.
None of it hit because she was already tweeting it. Megan's Law already tweeted it. Already talked about her dead mother on Twitter. Like none of it was gonna hit. And absolutely to your point about rap and like, firstly, rap doesn't have to be disrespectful. Battle rap is
Yeah.
disrespectful, and Nicki
Yeah.
has never been a battle rap ass rapper. Like she's never been
Mm-mm.
that. I was a huge fan of battle rap when I was younger. Not so much anymore because it's genuinely like they
It
go
gets
there.
dirty.
But that's the
It gets
point.
dirty.
Like it's really a art, and it's not for the weekend. It's a sport. And she's never been a
Mm-hmm.
battle rapping ass type of girl to
That's
now
a
all
good
of a
point.
sudden be wanting to bring up dead mothers and stuff like that. Like you don't give that at
Yeah.
all. Like people forget, like she is a theater kid. Like she went to
Mm.
the same high school that Timothy Chalamet went to, the same high school that like a lot of, like she was an aspiring thespian. A lot of this is an act.
Yeah.
That was theater. That was an act. She was acting. And now, not only has she drank the Kool Aid, but she really thinks that she's this like top don, like you're all my sons. Like that's not the case anymore. It's
Mm-mm.
really not the case anymore. And yeah, to not be a battle rapping ass person and trying to like take low blows that would only happen in battle rap was just like crazy to me, because it's just like you don't have to, like, well, so one way that I will say that it did work, which doesn't have anything to do with femininity, but it was still as like polarizing and a culture dividing moment, was Drake and Pusha T. Pusha T
Yeah.
literally rap battled and bullied him into being an active father. This I feel is the same level of like ethering where Megan, her record was so exponentially better that it's just like it's put Nicki as an artist everything into
Yeah.
question. Like people are turning their backs on her that may have never turned her backs on there. And I feel like the
Yeah.
same thing happened in that moment with Drake. There's a lot of people that had a moment of realization with Drake, and that beef with him and Pusha T. Pusha T literally said, "You are hiding a child," in
Mm.
plain English words, and
Mm.
that bullied him into being an active father. Like it really put him as an artist and as an icon in question. I feel like Megan
Mm.
has really accomplished something. And even still, she didn't even really give it to her the way she could have given it to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like and not even that, she's like this incredible, like she's a really, really great lyricist and she really raps for real and has an incredible
Yeah.
pen. But she's not like, she's not miles ahead of anybody, I feel. But
Yeah.
the fact that what she put out and produced was such an better piece of work than Bigfoot, that like she's like,
Yeah.
that's gonna be an elf forever. Like that's just crazy to me. And so now we're in this like this time period where she's just a disappointment. It's just really
It's
like it feels so empty to go out on such a no. Obviously she's still gonna continue to make music. She's
yeah.
still gonna continue to exist. But like now it's so evident that you've peaked. and that's
It
sad.
reminded me of this TikTok where this girl was like, I wish Nicki Minaj knew that she was Nicki Minaj. And then Nicki Minaj commented on it and got upset and was like, who are you talking about? This, that, and the third. And it really, that just surmises, I think, just this whole experience. Like, Nicki
It's
Minaj should
over.
be on, it's over. She should be like on the Beyonce and Rihanna level of like hip hop, I feel like, especially feminine hip hop. And like, we're not getting that, and it's just like a slow decline. And because I hate seeing somebody that really made some great music who, like, I could, like, itty bitty piggy, I could sing that bar for bar, like,
What?
it's so good. But it's just kind of like we have to, like, stop having idols, I think, to a degree, and just be like, these are people and we got to hold them accountable. Because, like, what are we doing here? What are we actually doing here? It's disappointing. Like
Yeah,
you said, it's disappointing.
it's super disappointing. But just in summary, I think we're in a really exciting time with female MCs in rap, and also like with just queer rap in general. I feel like there's a lot of exciting
Mm.
things happening, and I'm looking towards to the future of I don't know what this next uh era will look like. I don't know who's coming up next, so I'm super
Mm.
excited. So yeah, that's feminine hip hop thoughts.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mars. I think it was just great. Um, just going over that, just the future of what hip hop is going to be, queerness, especially coming into the hip hop frame, and such a misogynistic and homophobic, like originally homophobic, like genre for us queer people to claim that back. It just feels really nice, and I'm excited to see what happens. Because I feel like I had to take a break for a minute, because I was just like, these people don't like me. Like, why am I listening to this?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. No, I completely respect that.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just gonna continue to hurt myself sometimes, like, cause that's just how much I love rap and hip hop. It's just you
Yeah,
just
I
gotta
know,
tune
yeah.
out all that stuff,
Right.
and
You
I'm just
gotta be
trying to listen to
like,
music.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. But yeah, I'm excited to see what it'll look like. I'm hoping that more artists can reclaim their masters earlier, like Meg Thee Stallion, and like be able to reclaim like what they
That's why
want
she
their
was
image to
mad,
be.
cause you ain't got nobody.
Literally.
She don't own her stuff. Talk about she said she
Mm,
was gonna try and buy her. What if I buy your? You couldn't.
couldn't. Already done. She already got him back.
You
That's
couldn't.
insane. That's unheard
That's the
of.
biggest get back. She hasn't said a word.
Not since
I
then.
know she's so mad. I
Not
would
since
be. I
then.
would have been like, just fight me. Fight me. If
Yeah.
I was her, I would have said fight me.
Yeah.
Because if you're not gonna say nothing, you gotta fight me now. Anyway.
Exactly. Thank you, Mars, for that. I appreciate you breaking that down for us. It's so much nuance, but let's hope for the future. Hope that everybody can like just like bring the love of hip hop back again, and there can be more femininity in a healthy way. That's all we want. So
I agree. I agree.
yeah, that's it for today. If you guys want to like listen to more of our older stuff, we're on YouTube, we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and we're on what else are we on? SoundCloud. Yes. So yeah, follow us there. Yeah, we'll let you guys know what the next topic's gonna be. But thank you so much for listening. It's been great. Yeah, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.